So the new year's upon us, it's 2025. How do you set goals for yourself? Roll that graphic. Welcome back, I'm Paul, this is Science That Sticks. Every year I set myself goals to do for the year ahead. This last year I was going over the 41 or 40, I think there was 47 goals or things that I'd set myself to do. And I managed to accomplish about 20 of them. So I was pretty successful. Not as successful as I would like to be, but I still did quite a lot on my to-do list. So how do I do this? How do I set myself goals? Well, the first thing is I sit down with the book that I've been using for the better part of 20 years now. In fact, actually, it turns out 26 years this last December. And what I do is I write a list of things that I think I would like to do throughout the year. Now, that can be going places. That can be learning a new skill. That can be developing a skill I already have. That could also be doing things like meeting new people. It could be going somewhere new, doing something scary. So I'll make a quick list here up on the board behind me about what I do in order to set some goals, and I'll go through each one. So what I've done now is I've just written 3 key points that allow most people, if you've got anything about you, to want to set some targets for the year ahead. So the first thing is in a quiet room, I think about what I want to do, see, have, learn and experience, and I write them down, and I just put bullet points to the side of this year. I've put numbers so that I could work out at a glance exactly how many targets I've got or goals or whatever. So I write it down. There's no order to it. I don't put it in a priority, and so I'm pretty okay with that. The next thing is I actually set some review dates. Now, it turns out that I'm not very good at this last part, at reviewing. Every, I would say, 3 or 4 months, I will look at it and I'll say, what have I done so far? But it's always useful to have the list somewhere easily to hand. Now, couple of warnings with this. The first thing is, if you're writing stuff down from what you want to see, do, have, some things might take you years to do. So if they take you years to do, what you need to do is you need to put in brackets at the side of it that it's a long-term goal. If you think that you could do it within the year, then it's a short-term or a medium-term goal, depending on how old you are, of course. So I would always err on the side of just thinking about how long these things are going to take. The last thing, I've not written it here, but I think it's very valuable to have it in mind, is whatever goal that you have written, you really have thought of yourself, because you think, well, maybe I'd like to do this. And only you know what you think you would like to do, because that's what's going to engage you. So a couple of years ago, I wrote down that I would like to learn a magic trick. And then the following year, I actually wrote down that I would like to do a little magic show. And I did that because the school that I was in, I became head of house, and I did an assembly. So I actually did an assembly at the beginning of the January, and I said, look, I'm going to show you something because it's on my list of things to do. I did that not just to show off, but because I'd set myself a target. When I got home, I crossed that off. I think that was 2017 when I did that. So the good people that are watching, if you were in that little show, thanks very much for giving me the applause. But the other part of it is that learning stuff that you don't know how to do yet can actually take, sometimes it doesn't take very long, and other times it could take quite a while. So really be aware of some of the things that you can do that you would do that might take very long or might not take very long. The other thing that I would recommend to people is really think about this, because once you've written a list of things that you would like to do, you've also set in motion the things that mark failure if you've not done them. Now, the trick behind this of just writing as many as you possibly can, even if you don't do all of them, it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters to you because you set the goals. But in my experiences, the list itself motivates. Now, this is from Allan Pease, and I'll put the link in the description because I robbed this off of him. I think it's a great way of setting targets. So I just think about what it is that I would like to do over the year. Now, sometimes I don't get to do those things over that year, so I put them into the following year. This year, I've got go canoeing, ride a jet ski. Now, they've been on my list for 3 years running. This year, I'm going to do it because not only have I wrote it down on a list, I've now said it on my channel. Hopefully, I will do that. When I do that, I'll have myself recorded by whoever's watching because I want to see me in the drink, I'm sure. And I'll post it here and I'll put a line through that little thing that's that little bit of the list. I think that's okay. So, how do I set lists? The first thing is I think about what I would like to do, to see, to have, to learn, to experience, or even to go. Where I would like to go, that is. Then I write them down in no particular order. I set a review date and then I go about doing them. Okay? Because I've already got them in my mind, at the back of my mind, I might catch someone saying something about one of my goals, and sure as eggs is eggs, it happens. A couple of years back I went water skiing. Amazing. Never thought I'd be able to do it. Never thought I wanted to do it, but I did it. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay cool. Goodbye. Happy New Year. Get them goals done.